All right, introduce yourself.
My name is Tiana. I'm a tattoo artist slash veterinary technician. I've been tattooing for going on 5 years. I've been a veterinary technician for about 8 years. Joey's my number one client.
What are we doing today?
Just doing some Halloween theme, some ghost face here.
So what were you doing when you were my age?
Uh, at the age of 23, 5 years ago, I was ending my veterinary technician career. Due to an injury. I've had a couple of knee surgeries that hindered me from being a vet tech, which is when I picked up tattooing.
Do you like being a tattoo artist too?
It's very rewarding being a tattoo artist. You do get the difficult clients, but it is very rewarding.
Did
I
you ever,
enjoy tattooing very much.
did you ever feel lost, and were you scared of the future?
Uh, do I ever feel lost, or have I ever felt lost?
Did you ever feel lost?
Yeah, actually, when I was in college, I had no idea what I was doing because I was in college for surgical technology, which is nothing that I do. So I was feeling discouraged at that time, and then, I figured out I wanted to be a veterinary technician because of my love for animals. And then, obviously, with the knee surgeries, I picked up tattooing because I got tattoos everywhere. But feeling lost was definitely a big thing because I didn't know where I was going.
Were you scared of the future or no?
Um, no, I kind of like sometimes I think for the future, but I mostly think about like what's happening now. Like, what am I doing now? And what is it that I'm doing now that's gonna affect the future? Not so much being afraid of the future. So, no, nah.
You think everybody should get into tattooing?
I mean, I wouldn't say everybody. Honestly, I feel like for me, for instance, I wouldn't consider myself an artsy person. I was more artsy when I was younger. So no, everybody shouldn't do tattoos, but like it's not hard, you know? I mean, if you're doing it the right way, um, that's all that matters. But um, you know, no, everybody shouldn't do tattoos.
The 10 out of 10 question: do tattoos hurt?
Absolutely. All of them hurt. All of them hurt.
Um, did you always know what you wanted to do, even at my age?
Yeah, I've always known that I wanted to be a veterinary technician. And then when I got into tattooing, it kind of just fell in my lap. I started out as a shop rat, which is, cleaning up after everybody that works in the tattoo shop, running errands, stocking, things like that. So I started out in the tattoo industry doing that, and then the opportunity came about to do tattoos, and I went for it.
How did you discover tattooing and veterinary technician?
Well, like I said, tattooing, I started out as a shop rat, and I did never thought that I would like pick up a tattoo machine and actually tattoo. Like I said, I'm not really an artsy person, but when I started learning, I started using, guinea pigs and people to just let me practice on them, and then I got hired in a tattoo shop, and then I was like, wow, this is really enjoyable, it's satisfying.
Did you ever feel pressured from family or people around you?
Pressured in what sense?
Um, did anybody make this transition difficult for you?
No, I actually got a lot of support when I picked up the tattoo machine. Especially because I have so many tattoos. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, we knew that was coming," or whatever the case is. But I never had any discouragement or, anyone putting me down throughout my either one of my careers. I've always had like a lot of support from family, especially.
Did you struggle becoming a tattoo artist, even though being part of the LGBTQ community?
You don't even know. Being a female alone makes it 10 times difficult to be a tattoo artist because it is a male dominant profession. So you have little old me coming in, it is very intimidating to people that are already seasoned. And then on top of me being a gay female, I dealt with a lot. I've had clients come in and, if they come in as a walk-in and we were in like a rotation kind of thing, I have people realize they were getting tattooed by a girl and totally reschedule because I was a girl. I have people that want me to tattoo them because I'm a girl. But more so of the gender role, not really the LGBT role, because it was more like, oh, I don't want a girl to tattoo me. I want a man to tattoo me. So dealt with things like that.
So how many times does the needle pierce in the skin right now, T?
Jesus Christ.
Just a lot?
Just like, oh my God. I couldn't even tell you, man. Google it.
So how do you deal with negative comments?
You learn from them. I kind of don't really entertain it, People are going to say what they want. They're going to think what they want. And all I can do is, just, just back myself up, whether it's negativity with a tattoo or the way that the tattoo came out or whatever, because I'd never have issue with like client communication. I'm really good with people, but like as far as issues with the tattoo, just offer them, you just offer them different options. Okay, would you like me to fix that or whatever the case is?
Do you have any role models?
No.
No mentors, no nobody?
No. I was a self-taught tattoo artist. The tattoo shop that I was a shop rat in, I was pretty cool with the owner, and then he decided to hire me as an artist with intentions to teach me, but he was always busy, and I kind of just learned on my own.
How do you feel about numbing cream for tattoos, T?
I got like 3 bottles of numbing cream. Numbing cream is your best friend if you are scared of tattoos. Let me tell you something. I didn't always know about numbing cream. But when I figured it out, that's the only way I'll get a tattoo. Numb it. Numb it up.
Do tattoos need to have meaning or no?
Say that one more
Do
time.
tattoos need to have meaning or no?
Absolutely not. If it means something to you, if it don't mean something to you, it's your body.
What types of risks did you encounter? Both tattooing and, vet tech. Could failing be one of the risks?
Well, definitely. When it comes to tattooing, like, I don't know. Can we come back to that question?
Yeah, we can.
I don't know how to answer that.
Who's your favorite tattoo client? No, I'm joking.
My number one client.
How did you get here to tattooing? And what made you fall in love with tattooing?
For me, it's therapeutic. Especially if I have a cooperative client, it definitely makes it so much easier to tattoo. It's just therapeutic, It's pleasing to people because people look at their bodies as literal canvases, and it's their expression, but in my way, if that makes sense.
What makes you feel like you had a good day at work?
In tattooing, good day is always when the money flows in. Good day is when you don't get clients complaining. In the tech world, a good day is when I don't have to chase an animal down the frickin' highway.
How did you build your life around this and vet tech while paying bills?
Is that what I'm doing? I mean, so I was doing tattoos full time when I started in the shop, and that was great money. It was great money. It was definitely all in the location of the tattoo shop. I'm not going to say like anywhere you go to work to do tattoos, you're going to be cashing out, because that's not the case. When I first got hired in the shop, I was making great money, so bills were good. And at that time, I wasn't doing the vet tech because of my knee surgery. But I left that tattoo shop, so the money flow slowed down. I moved, and the money slowed down. I came back, and it was impossible for me to find a tattoo shop to work in. I found a tattoo shop to work in. It was too slow. So bills and tattooing, I feel like you have to have like a certain clientele set so that when tattoo world is booming, and then when tattoo world is slow, you're not falling behind on your bills. So with that being said, when I moved back to Jersey last year, it was hard for me to find a tattoo shop to work in, which is why I went back to being a veterinary technician full-time and doing tattoos on the side. Because tattooing, like I said, if you don't have that great clientele, or you're not in a very, very popular, fast-moving shop, it's going to be hard to survive. So that's why I went back to the vet tech stuff, because I needed actual income, and now I use this as extra, you know?
So so you're saying it's okay to go back to something, you wanted to do, or back to an old passion, old hobby?
Yeah, absolutely. Like for me, I feel like if you get into tattooing and you want to do it full time, go for it. But you got to build that clientele. Otherwise, tattooing for me seems like it's a seasonal job, honestly.
So you should always have a fallback point, right?
Always. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not like 10 years seasoned tattoo artist. So like, I'm sure there's people out there that make it work, but clientele is a very big part of tattooing. And if you don't have clientele, it's going to be rough.
What's your favorite kind of style of tattoo to do? Like horror, neo-traditional, very traditional? It better be American.
Actually, it's not.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Me personally, when I get asked like what's my style of tattooing, it's hard for me to answer because I don't really have a specific style. I'm the type of person, show me your idea. If I can do it, let's do it. If I can't do it, I'm gonna let you know that's out of my, what's the word? Out of my scope. It's not something that I'm capable of doing and things like that. So I have no harm. And then there's always things like people say like, oh, well, don't you want to do it? You're never going to learn unless you do it. There's certain things that I don't care to learn. Like, I'm not a realism tattoo artist, and that's not something that I would test myself to do because I don't want to. So when it comes to style of tattooing, if I had to say, I like line work. I'm really big into the line work. Thin lines, thick lines, it doesn't really matter. I just like the line work. It just makes the tattoos come out neater.
So what are your final words to the people, and how to figure out what they should do with their life?
Follow yourself. Don't let people around you influence your decisions. I'm really big on asking people for advice, but that's just me. I ask people for advice and then I'll still do what I feel like doing. I could get this opinion, that opinion, but at the end of the day, your choices are for you and nobody else. So go with what you want. There's no shame in having more than one profession.
Is it scary pulling that line, T?
No.
No, why not?